Shout out to everyone that's here in the chat. You know, the thing with JayDaYoungan, he's a young guy. 24 is young. 24 is young. And for him to lose his life the way that he did, right? At first, people did not know whether he was gonna make it or not. And what was interesting is that he was actually arrested by federal agents last year. He actually did time. He did some time recently as well in jail. And looking at this situation and where we are with black men, I'm tired. I'm tired of looking at the outside for help. No matter how much we seek to help black people, we never look inward, because it's you know, you're being a coon and a sellout because we point out the fact that we have a lot of self-hate issues in the black community. These young boys hate each other. They are groomed to hate each other. And we overlook that. We don't even defend ourselves against these foreigners who comes in, who put up businesses in these black communities, but we will harm each other. You know how many videos I've seen of foreigners disrespecting black people in their own communities? You have young black men that just have a lot of hate. But we want to look at white people as the problem. You can look at what feminism has done to the black community. We can look at what these breaking up of the black family has done. It didn't happen during slavery. Stop. But it's a comfortable space to say that for these pro-blacks. That's why they're not gonna like what I have to say, but I don't care. Who are you? You're just an internet goofy that pretends to like black people online, but in reality, you don't want to live around them either. That is a fact. Say 24 is not young. To you, it's not young, but in the world sense, it is. Yes, when you're 25, you're an adult, but you're still young. You're a young man. You're not a young boy, but you're a young man. That's a young age to die at. It's not an old age. That's a young age to lose your life at. 34 would be considered a young age to lose your life. And we are destroying each other, but y'all want to overlook that. I don't overlook the problems in the black community, but a lot of other people don't. A lot of other people do. They want to overlook it because they know if you shine a light on it, you're going to realize Caucasian people ain't your problem. Caucasian people, the average everyday Caucasian person is not waking up every day wondering what black people are doing. That's BS. Right, Jay De Niro? I just sit back and I just chuckle at all these people that want to blame other races for why we have such self-hatred towards each other. This whole we gonna blame white people, we need to stop. It's become a hustle at this point. It's nice to hear because a lot of you work for white people and you have to kiss up to them every day. And because you're not brave enough to say nothing, you get online and you want camaraderie. Well, how about you act black in real life? Don't be black on social media. Be black in real life too. It's a lot of fakery. It's a lot of fakery going on. We need to stop it. This JayDaYoungan was with his dad. Now, we don't know exactly what happened. They're working on it. But just imagine you as a father, you with your son. Now, say whatever you want, about his career choice and his music. right? But I don't know what JayDaYoungan was doing recently after getting out of jail. I don't know where his life was. I don't know what was going on with him. Maybe he was making the steps to do something different. I'm not a fan of this whole beef rap is what I call it. You beefing with a guy, you're rapping about him, then you're getting on social media. We're gonna get to the what's that guy named Rolly Bands, and how he called out people on Facebook Live and he lost his life. What's good, Steven Bronxi? Calling people out on Facebook Live to come pull up, and somebody pulled up and took his life. Like, and by the way, how many people have lost their life due to Facebook Live, but nobody is trying to shut down Facebook Live? Nobody is trying to get them censored. But you do anything outside the norm on YouTube that's legal and within the guidelines, and they want to shut you down, all because your opinion doesn't fit the lamestream narrative. Black people are cowards. They have become cowards. You're tough online, but that energy is not matched outside of that unless it's towards another black man. We have such hate towards each other that not only will you try to take the life of this, JayDaYoungan, but also his father. We need to talk about these things instead of ignoring it. See, when you ignore the problem, it only gets worse. We can talk about the music. We could talk about how the music definitely influences the behavior of people. This beef rap that we got going on, this, beefing ain't new to hip hop, but beefing used to be in the music, or they used to do those beef DVDs. Y'all remember those, the beef DVDs? But you've seen a lot of issues with those, but it has gone to whole different levels. Now it's on a completely different level, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be on a completely different level. Make sure y'all like the stream. I'm tired of seeing young black men lose their life by the hands of other black men. Y'all know what's really sad is that the only time people care is if a white police officer or a white civilian ends the life of a black person. That's the only time y'all care. That's the only time y'all care. And that should not be the case, because we see this type of violence every day, because we have no leadership in black communities. None. Y'all let these women, quote unquote, be leaders. They don't care. They're not even living in those black neighborhoods. This is what happens when you do not have masculinity in communities. Intelligence. We frowned upon intelligence. When I was young, we used to frown upon it too. Used to make fun of the people who did their homework and went to school and, didn't act up. Well, not me, but. Okay, Van said he late for church. Cause I'm here. Shout out to everybody that's here. We used to use music to beef. Now you got these insecure rappers and their stooges going out here and taking the life of other men. We should celebrate intelligence and masculinity in these communities, but we don't. And that is, people can say it's by design, because look at where we are. We have a community full of females, children, and males. There are no men. The only men that you will see in these communities are probably the pastors. You got a few black men that own businesses. I can say where I'm from, a ton of black men own their own businesses. So it was nothing new to me. But in some communities, they've never really seen black men own things, which is sad. which is sad. And you know what's really sad too is that, you know, when Kendrick came out with his album, which is a very deeply personal album, so a lot of things that, again, people want to ignore that go on in these communities and these families. There were people that claimed that the music was boring and they didn't want to listen to it. They wanted the can't even say it. They want the trap beats. They wanted to hear, you know, you rapping about other people and putting other people down, instead of actually listening to why you listen to music in the first place. You listen to music in the first place to gain an understanding, to really be deeply reflective, not to hear a bunch of ad-libs or ad-libs. How many of us can remember R&B songs from the 90s and 2000s? Even rap songs. We can remember those things. But what of these new rappers of the last, I would say 5 to 6, 7 years, these SoundCloud rappers, skinny jean thug rappers, how many of these guys can you say music is quotable? There's maybe 1 or 2, 3 maybe. I can say I did like XX Tentacion. He was one of the rappers of the last 5, 6 years, 7 years that I did like. Rappers are J. Cole and Kendrick. I can't listen to these new rappers. Why you think I play Kendrick at the beginning of my streams? I play music that matters, not music that doesn't. Salute to everybody that's here. I just want y'all to know, man, we are destroying ourselves. And when are we going to regain our self-esteem? When are us as men going to regain our masculinity? You see, the problem is that too many of us, we don't have real life father figures who are able to raise us properly, to have self-esteem. You know why a lot of these athletes are able to be successful despite their home life? Is because they're able to succeed, but it was mainly because of their coaches. Yeah, X did lose his life, but he didn't lose his life over no beef. X lost his life because he got robbed by some ignorant Negroes. He got robbed by some ignorant. It wasn't no street beef. It wasn't no rap beef. It was just a group of idiots that wanted to rob him on that day. That didn't have anything to do with rap. What I'm speaking on is these drill rappers who have beef with other rappers and other gangs, and it spills over. Right? Yeah, same as Pop Smoke. That was just, people trying to, get something off of them. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. But I will say this, though. Without strong male leadership, these young boys are not going to be successful. And again, the reason why athletes are able to succeed despite their home life, because they love to put their mothers out there like their mothers was right there with them, when half of the time the mother wasn't even in their life, is because they had coaches, male coaches, who could teach them how to be men. And that's why they were able to get out the hood. They were able to go to college, get diplomas. Some go to the NFL or NBA. They had coaches who had a structure, who had wives and families, who were able to teach those young men the value of hard work and the value of family. That's why you see these guys go and marry themselves. They go and they marry women and have families themselves. It's good, Arjun. Shout out to everybody that's coming into the chat. Salute to y'all. Yeah.